Right. Hey, Malik. How do you think you've elevated your game from last year to this year so far?
I would believe, I would say I elevated my game of being more explosive. A lot of people ask me, what I was focused on in going into the season was to be more explosive. Like, in the first 4 games that I've been having, first, 7 games, 6 games that we didn't have, I didn't become more explosive and being that receiver that, is a go-to receiver right now.
Lee, would you say with the recent string of aggressive performances that it's easier to get going with the confidence boost, or is it a little bit harder as the defensive attention increases?
Um, that's a very hard question, but I would say it's kind of pretty bit easier. I know, me and Jaden, we be on the same page a lot, especially with different reads or, if they bracketed me, it's still, um, he finds a way to still give me the ball even when I'm bracketed. So it's just me and him being on point. They try to give me a lot of jet sweeps just to get the ball in my hands. So it's not really, just getting my confidence going early on in the game. I come prepared. Every game I know I'm gonna be expecting double coverages. So it's about helping my other guys get the ball.
And speak about the development of Dak Thomas Jr. this season. What have you seen from him, and how have you reacted?
A tremendous leader. He's been helping me, especially with that receiver room since we so young. Me and him only a junior. We had a lot of seniors last year. So, just me and him being on the same page, I'm going to see a lot of double coverages. So, having him on the other side of me is a confident boost for him, knowing he's going to get the ball also on side me and just, getting everybody going just also as Kyrie.
I think we talked about a month ago, and you were kind of mentioning how you're helping Zai with coverages in practice. How have you kind of seen the defensive backs grow over the past months since we last talked?
I've been seeing, Coach Steve's been, doing a lot of extra things after practice. Just working on their feet work, getting in and out their breaks, But I don't really see, much of those guys anymore as we get, on into the season. We don't really go against each other as we, used to do, technically with fall camp. But, I see those guys doing extra things after practice to get, a lot better.
How about the wide receivers? You guys have had such a great connection with Jaden, really, since the start of the season. Where do you kind of point that to, and how has it grown?
I'll point it to you just knowing each other outside of football. It's a great relationship that we have outside of football, and it makes our football relationship a lot stronger. I mentioned going eat, going out shopping. Those little things that we can take our mind off of football and just know the real person behind the helmet. So I feel like that increases our our relationship on the field and him trusting us when we out there making plays.
Well, when you play a team like Army, the score might get blown out of hand, and it allows some younger guys to get some reps. Who are some of the younger wide receivers you think fans would expect to see really?
You should expect to see Shelton Sampson, Kyle Parker, Jalen Brown, Kai Preen, a lot of those young guys, just to get them in the game, get the college, feel of them, probably not getting the reps that they hoped they was coming in as a freshman, getting in the game, seeing what college is like. I was one of those guys also, so just getting in those games, it's a confident booster.
Kyron had a big game this past weekend. How did it feel to kind of see him go off like that? And if he can do that consistently, how does that help your offense?
It's a confident booster for him, like I said, especially, when we came into the game early on, he had a pretty good, I believe it was a dig route over the middle that he caught, and then he came back. Jaden threw him another ball, and then he dropped it. He kind of got in his head a lot. But, I stayed on him when we got on the sideline. I told him, I would throw the ball to you again. I was just expecting you to make it, the next time that it comes to you. So, and just him boosting his confidence up. He told me on the sideline, next time I touch the ball, I'm going to do something special with it. So, the next time he caught the ball, he did something special with it up the seam. Jaden came back to him on the dig again. When we came back on the sideline, I said, I'll throw it to you again. Just keep that same confidence as you keep going. It showed his confidence throughout the game.
What kind of impact would you say that the nutrition center and the staff had here on your development?
Especially with Dr. Frakes, when I first came in here, I wasn't really, a smoothie guy. I didn't like shakes, protein shakes. I wasn't really the type of guy to eat all that. But, as I keep going on, he pushes me to eat more and more, to get my body healthy because, I face a lot through the week, you know, in games, you know, playing 60, 70 snaps a game. So it's a lot being put on my body. So, you know, just trusting him, things that he's putting in my body I've been pretty healthy as so far through the season.
Yeah, after you get in the end zone, you normally get pretty creative with the dances. Are you rehearsing them? Like, what goes into that?
I would say I pick and choose between Kyron and Jaden. You know, Jaden and Kyron, they come up with a lot of new dances through the week. So if I can mimic some of them, it's really about who scores first. So sometimes I might score first before Kyron or BT. Well, BT really doesn't celebrate with us. But it's about me and Kyron. You know, we got a lot of dances that we done did, you know, in the spring and the summer. A lot of those dances still have been, you know, in the lockdown. You know, we never opened them up yet. So, you know, it's just things through the week that we just focus on. Just stuff to have fun on while we out there.
We saw it a few times this weekend. You guys had trouble communicating a little bit because of the crowd noise. Can you talk about that a little bit and how often that affects the team, especially the time season?
Want to say that again? On defense or on offense? Because on offense, it's just a lot of things that, you know, goes on with, you know, different checks that we have. You know, we might have, if we see like a man read or cover zero, you know, we go to our checks. But I think I know what play you're talking about when they call a flag on me in motion. Yeah, it was so Jaden was, you know, kind of checking the protection, and while Logan was in motion, I was in motion, and I didn't get set because I thought he was changing the protection like we do at practice. But you know, it's just something that, you know, I'm more focused on the game. So, you know, when he called me in motion, I forgot to get set, something that, you know, I should have did, and then it just cost us in the end. But, you know, it's just something that we learn for it and keep on.
Couple more.
You said BT doesn't celebrate with y'all, or doesn't celebrate much. It's kind of upset you a little bit, or make you sad?
Nah, it's just that's just him as his nature. You know, he's a quiet guy. You know, it's just him as a person. But you know, I know when he makes a big play, you know, he celebrates on his own. Him and Kyron got a few celebrations that, you know, we see. I never got a celebration going because, you know, he doesn't really like to dance, and I like to dance when we in the end zone. So it's just BT.
Jaden's putting up numbers that are constantly breaking records. That he's not as high in the Heisman conversation as you might assume from someone who's putting up those numbers. How do you think he kind of carries that? How does that make y'all feel?
I would say he carries that, you know, on his shoulder. You know, him just being, you know, always overlooked, I guess. You know, I know how he feels. You know, a lot of things that, you know, not going your way. But, you know, he continues to come here at 5:30 in the morning, watch film, try to focus on things to get better on, you know, always, you know, putting in work after practice with us as a receiver group. And just the little things that he does, you know, throughout the week, it's just progressing like when he's on the field. It's showing how great of a leader that he is on the field, and I'm proud of him for that. You know, it's something that he came into this year, wanting to focus on was winning the Heisman, and, you know, his stuff that he's been producing for him to be running up for the Heisman is pretty good showing.
All right, last one for Malik here. I hate to nitpick, but you guys did settle for a couple of field goals, and Auburn had a good red zone defense coming in. Are there improvements you guys are looking to make inside the 20 moving forward?
Yeah, it's a lot of improvements that we plan on fixing throughout the week. You know, I had a drop in the end zone, you know. We can kind of say it was pretty back shoulder, or, you know, Jane put it on me quick, but it's a play that I have to make. And it was a lot of, you know, different, you know, techniques that we should have did better while we was in the red zone. But, you know, we want to always score touchdowns, but, you know, if we can get 3, you know, it's not pretty bad.
All right, cool. Thank you, Malik.
Thanks.